Perception. It's what we see. It's what we don't see. It's our individual interpretation of the world around us. It is the illusion of reality. Many of the problems facing today's society stems from false perceptions. What is a false perception, you may ask? Well, let me show you. I'm going to start with an experiment. It's a classic. Take a look at this painting. What did you see? Probably an old couple, right? I'm going to show you again. This time, take a closer look. What did you see this time? Did you see two men wearing sombreros? Or the woman walking through an archway? This is a false perception. You made a conclusion before assessing the entirety of the painting. Many people use perception to jump to conclusions. They interpret their senses before assigning meaning to it. Let's try another one. How many legs does this elephant have? Count again. You see? It is completely normal to have a false perception. The problems arise when you make assumptions from it. Let me make up a scenario for you. You're walking down the street when you see a man in a cape standing close to and talking to a small child. You assume he is trying to seduce the child and kidnap him, so you run up and pull the child away from the situation. But it isn't until this point that you notice the man is holding a deck of cards. He's a street magician. You made a perception, a judgment, about somebody before assessing the entirety of the situation. You have to obtain more information, clearer information, before you can come up with a conclusion. You may think that you are helping, but you are doing more to hurt somebody by assuming something about them than by assessing a situation more clearly before deciding to take action. False perceptions also arise when it comes to terrorism. For example, Americans fear for their lives against terrorist threats, but they don't really understand the truth behind it. Perceive this. The chances of you getting struck by lightning is 1 in 960,000. That's highly unlikely. The chances of you winning the lottery is 1 in 13,983,816. That's getting struck by lightning almost 14 times. Now hear this. You are more likely to win the lottery than die in a terrorist attack. The odds of dying in a terrorist attack is 1 in 20 million. That's the equivalent of getting struck by lightning 20 times. People allow fear to shape their perceptions of people. People assume the worst of other people. Why? Society has created a world of fear. People are only shown the worst of the world. The media only reports sad stories. But the truth to the world is, it's great. Sure, the world has its problems, but we have accomplished more in the past 100 years than the past 10,000. Perceive that. Now look at where I am. Did you assume that this is a Rubik's Cube? Well, let me show you something. It's just a piece of paper. Don't make assumptions. Don't jump to conclusions. Interpret and evaluate. Form a conclusion without making an assumption, because you are more likely to harm someone out of fear than somebody else harming you. Thanks for listening.